各位 ，Good morning。今天呢，要讲的是《佛子行37颂》里面的第5个偈颂。
Good morning, everyone. Today we will continue our teaching on 37 practice, the 5th stance. When evil companions are associated with the 3 poisons increase, the activities of listening, pondering, and meditation decline, and love and compassion are extinguished. Abandoning evil companions is the Bodhisattva's practice.
其实这个呢，我们从说皈依戒的时候就有那个戒。我们皈依佛就没有必要皈依世间法的神，不去皈依世间法的神。皈依法呢，我们也不能伤害任何的众生，这个是戒律。皈依神呢，我们就不去钓心外道的这种的那个朋友。那这偈颂里面讲的是，就是那个我们皈依神就不叫心外道的朋友的意思是一样的。
So in fact, when we take refuge vows, we already have taken this. And if you remember, when we, in the refuge vow, we say something like, we take refuge to Buddha, and then we do not take refuge to worldly gods. When we take refuge to Dharma, then we do not harm worldly beings. When we take refuge to Sangha, then we do not become companions to those people who are not looking inward in their practice. So this stance is similar to the third one. When we take refuge to Sangha, then we do not associate with those who only practice outward rewards and not looking inwards.
这个皈依法就不能伤害任何人、任何众生，应该是这样说。
So we take refuge to Dharma, then we do not harm any beings.
那这里面呢，远恶友为佛子行，不管信外道还是就没信宗教的，关于因为那个朋友，然后就影响自己的增长贪嗔痴，因为那个朋友影响自己的那个退展，对佛法的那个信心，或者是那个慈爱心这种的那个朋友的话，就还是要严厉一点的意思。
So no matter what, if they practice something that's not Dharma, or they practice something that would increase our attachment, hatred, or ignorance, it would lead to our practice, degeneration of our practice, or our faith in Buddha Dharma, or our loving kindness and compassion. These companions, we should try to disassociate and abandoning them.
因为我们呢，朋友很容易影响人， 尤其是那个我们的那个怎么讲啊？良心善良的心呢，很容易就被怎么讲啊？会朋友的影响来退步，或者是那个，就良心是好像是像那个白色的颜色一样啊，那个很容易就弄脏啊，就是贪嗔痴这种的心呢，比较污染这种的心呢，比较黑颜色一样，比较它的那个怎么讲啊？力量比较强，它会影响那个我们善良的心，所以这样的因素来就所以这样说。
So we are all subject to peer influence. So we are easily influenced by our peers, associates or companions. So if you have a kind heart and if you have a heart that wants to do kind deeds, it's easily influenced in a negative way by those negative companions. Because your kindness is sometimes like a white cloth, and it's easy to get dirty. However, the attachment, anger, and hatred, or ignorance is like the black cloth. They have much stronger power a lot of the times, and is easily influence our kindness. So that's the reason why we want to dissociate evil companions.
这样说的时候，可能有些人会想，那不是那个信菩萨的时候就帮助任何的人嘛？就那难道那个不好的朋友就要离开他，远离他吗？会想这样子？那个是信菩萨呢，要帮助任何人，那个没错。但是我们要用一个智慧的眼光来要看，怎么样做比较远一点看的话，就利益比较大。我们现在好不容易遇到佛法，然后也好不容易有感兴趣，这个是不是随手都有的一个机会了？这个很难。这个呢，好几十个辈子修来的一个怎么讲啊，福报才会有这样子。但这个呢，还是我们的那个修行现在没有那么的稳定，很容易改变这个了。所以呢，要这个这种自己的修行有影响的，影响会改变的，就是那个自己的那个修行退步的这种朋友呢，要远离的，就是目的是这样子的。
So some of you may have this question. Aren't we on the Bodhisattva path? Aren't we supposed to help all the sentient beings? Why should we dissociate ourselves to some so-called evil companions here? Well, when we practice Bodhisattva path, we still need to use the wisdom eye to discern and decide what to do, what not to do. We also need to look at what's the ultimate goal and what brings more benefit to all. It is very unusual and not easy that in this lifetime we could encounter Buddha Dharma, and then we have some interest in practicing Buddha Dharma. It takes generations after generations of merit in order to bring this condition about in this lifetime. So we could do this in running into Buddha Dharma and have some interest. However, it is not easy to practice a lot of time our practice is not stabilized. So this is we are easily influenced in a negative way. So that's why to protect this, we would dissociate ourselves to evil companions. So we continue to practice. We continue to stabilize our practice.
佛经里有讲，哪个经典我不记得。最大的敌人其实不是什么其他人呐。就这种的那个恶友怎么讲啊？对那个人影响你的增长贪嗔痴，失去慈悲心的这种的朋友，最大的敌人。为什么呢？就其他敌人这么打也伤害不到这么严重，他只能伤害你的那个医生啊，这样而已了。那这种朋友跟着这种朋友很久的时候，你心里的那个慈悲心这种完全会失去，也许会失去的，有可能的。那这样的话，那个朋友呢，伤害了你很大很大那个一部经典里面有这样讲的。
There is a statement, there is a teaching in one of the scripture. I do not recall the name of the scripture now. In that scripture, it mentioned that sometimes we think that we should realize that the biggest enemy is evil companions. Because of their influence, it is possible that our attachment, our hatred, our ignorance would increase and we'll lose our compassion. And so compared to ordinary enemies, they may be able to harm us and hurt us, even kill us for one lifetime. However, with these evil companions, when our compassion is damaged, then it would influence us negatively for many, many lifetimes. This is a huge damage. That's why we need to be very careful about these companions.
这种障碍呢，很大的障碍。有的时候这种障碍叫魔这个马上呢，透过那个你的朋友来伤害你。怎么讲啊？他那个魔呢，很柔软来融入你的那个世界，你的那个生活上面。为什么这样说呢？当然，一个朋友影响一个人的时候，他也有很多理由啊，他也会讲很多道理啊，所以你的那个思想会改变呢，柔软了那个融入你的生活的意思就是这样了。那个魔呢，不是很恐怖了，伤害你呢。那恐怖的话，本来恐怖的话，你不一定会接受嘛。这样透过一个朋友慢慢讲一讲，哎，有意思哦，哎，有道理哦，然慢慢就心情改变，注意改变，这样就会影响你的那个一生。这一生这样的影响的话，就浪费了很多那个很多辈子的事情了。
So these type of obstacles is huge. Sometimes we call it like Mara, because Mara may influence you negatively through your peers, through your companion and friends. through them, these friends and companions, they start to influence you in a way that is very subtle. They merge into your daily lives. When friends try to give us influence, they will come up with all kinds of reasoning, all kinds of thoughts that make us agree. We know that if today we run into someone, our enemy or Mara, whatever they say, we may not want to listen. However, if it's coming from our friends, then they say over and over and over again, then gradually we may feel like, oh, there's some truth to it. It makes sense, so we will gradually be influenced. So that's why the harm is even greater. And then they try to influence through our friends.
那这样的话，前面我讲的皈依法就不能那个跟着一个外道头，但是这个不一定那个人是要一个外道头啊，任何的人就是那个影响你，那个朋友影响你贪嗔痴这三个增长的话，那就属于那个了，外道。透过那个朋友，不管他讲给你好听还是怎么样，反正就是退步闻思修，这样就那个朋友是可以算是一个那个皈依三宝里面讲的那个戒律的属于外道头。
So earlier we mentioned that when we take refuge, we vow that we don't associate with people who look outward and do not contemplate on the truth from inward. We could expand this. What are these evil companions? Those who will influence us negatively and help enhance or increase our greed, attachment, our hatred, or our ignorance. These are the companions that we try to avoid. And no matter what they do, if there is a way that our practice would become degenerated, and then our attachment, hatred, and ignorance increase, these are what we call 外道. Meaning that could be similar to what we call 外道, us practicing looking outward instead of looking inward. And in this way, we also try to avoid.
我们呢，进入佛门的这个道路的人呢，应该要个朋友也是一样的。有共同的一个怎么讲语言的，一般那个时间法来讲，要过一个生活的时候，也是没有怎么讲共同的一个目标，这种的话，过得也不快乐的。时间法也是这样子。也许有时候最后过不下去的，那我们修行道路也是有这种的那个朋友是比较重要的，互相帮助的，不是互相影响，然后就是那个退步的，这种要严厉一点的。
So when we practice Buddha Dharma, it is very important to select who do we associate ourselves with. Even in worldly life and worldly experience, it is much easier to have friends who have similar goals in life then you could support each other, you could encourage each other. In practice, Dharma practice is the same. If your goals are different, when you, for example, you want to practice and then the evil companion trying to increase your attachment, anger and ignorance, then the goal is different. It will not be easy to associate with, and then it won't be easy for you to, the friends cannot support your practice and enhance your practice. Therefore, we try to disassociate ourselves from companions like this.
本来有个朋友呢，就我们的想法不同，不是马上有混聚的，先看看他能不能听得进去我的那个 idea 想法实在是没有办法呀一直怎么讲坚持他的那个 view 然后也会影响我，这样的话那慢慢就不是吵架有句那个分开，就慢慢还是有办法的用一个智慧来慢慢，也不是那个放弃完全不管不是这种的还是有距离一点这样子的意思。
So when we select our friends, companions, we should have a clear understanding of each other and to see if it meets the criteria that we mentioned earlier, and to see if it's possible to share the similar view. We'll be able to listen to your opinion, listen to your perspective, and support it. If not, then these companions sometimes may insist their way. And in this case, you may want to slowly dissociate yourself from these friends. When you do that, you don't need to fight with these friends. And at the same time, you don't give up on them. What you do is to use your way that comes with some wisdom. Just gradually, you will go apart. That is one way that you could try.
所以这里说远恶友为佛子行，最后的那个句颂嘛。然后为什么远恶友为佛子行呢？就前面究竟彼而三度真嘛，然后邪令闻思修也退转嘛。有这样的朋友的话，也有远恶一点的。好，那今天讲到这里了。好的。
So in this stance, we talked about abandoning evil companion is the Bodhisattva's practice. And the first three verse was explaining the reason why. Because when we associate with evil companion, our three poisons, attachment, hatred, ignorance increase. Then activity of listening, pondering, and meditation decline, and love and compassion is extinguished. For these reasons, we want to abandon evil companions, dissociate ourselves from them. So that is the meaning of the teaching of this stance. Today we'll end here. We'll stop here.
Thank you.
有没有疑问 Any questions? No. Okay. If not, then we'll start with the Amitabha practice.